So that was my conversation with Rama Sridhar of Mastercard. While attending this event, I also witnessed an interesting development when it comes to token payments using wearables, because yesterday Mastercard, with their partnership with Tappy Technologies, took the time to demonstrate the kind of solutions that they are bringing to the market via token payments using wearables. Tappy Technologies is partnering with renowned watchmaker Timex Group, and they are launching token payment enabled wearables as early as next year. So this is just a short preview of the kind of things that you can use when it comes to token payments using the solutions that has been brought forward by both Tappy Technologies as well as Mastercard. Take a look.
I think increasingly, and not just with banks, but across the spectrum of partners that we work with, we're just seeing this explosion of interest in wearables. I think we've only really touched the tip of the iceberg in what's actually possible. I mean, today we've seen not just watches, but we've seen sunglasses, we've seen jewelry. We know there are people working on things like pens. You know, there are various different form factors. One of my colleagues in Mastercard actually has a patent for a payment-enabled shoe. You may well wonder why he would want his shoe to be able to make payments. Well, think about transit, and think about being able to walk over a turnstile and make payments at that turnstile. So I think we're at the tip of the iceberg here in terms of what we're going to see. You saw the numbers earlier, 400 million smart devices, digital wearable devices, you know, possibly 1.5 billion watches that are sold every year that could be enabled for payments. I think this is a very exciting opportunity and a very timely announcement of our partnership with Tappy. And of course, as Mastercard's role, we need to ensure that each of these payments is safe and secure and simple. And that's exactly what we do by working with Tappy to bring the power of tokenization to this solution. So together with their know-how of the watch space and their know-how that they've developed of NFC, together with the power of tokenization, the power of the Mastercard network, again, we're enabling every device to become a payment device.
Absolutely, Ben, and I really like that insight of, you know, enabling NFC payments on your footwear, you know, probably next year. All right, so Wayne, question for you, and you spoke a bit about, you know, your background, right? So what made you to venture into this, you know, wearable payment space, and what is that edge you have over, you know, other wearable providers in the market?
Right. So I mentioned that I was in wearable tech for 10 years. So wearable tech just simply means like full touchscreen type product, which has the features of activity tracking and, you know, many other features that you probably don't use, but it's been around for a good 5-6 years, and only payment has came recently for Apple Pay and Fitbit environment. But we've noticed that these products were never, like, at least in their communication, it was never really just focused on payment. It was always on how great the other features are, like heart rate monitoring and maybe now with glucose and blood pressure, a lot of other features that people are looking into. Now, why payment was never an important or the main focus, there are a few reasons. We know that we use payment a lot, but because people are taking up their phones to do it, they're not thinking that, well, why do I need to put it in a watch now? Because I have it on my phone. Why do I need to add that into my watch? Okay, so some of us get, okay, it's convenient, okay, it can't, but I still have a phone, so I might as well use my phone, okay? But then the focus is this: we want to make sure people focus on the payment aspect, the payment feature, how important it is for you every day to use, and have all these other features that you probably don't use every day in a smartwatch, and, you know, take that aside. and just put it and focus into a traditional timepiece that you actually like to wear every day. Instead of just wearing how Ben is wearing his Apple Watch, he probably doesn't like how it looks. And personally, I've been wearing my Apple Watch when it first came out, and I took it off after 3 months. I just couldn't bear with how it looks like. I'm not saying it's like ugly or anything like that. I'm just saying that it doesn't give me that same emotion that I have in a traditional timepiece. What emotion am I talking about? It could be from my dad. It could be because my mom bought it for me when I was graduated. There's all sorts of reasons why I want to wear a nice looking timepiece. And you know that's not going to break down. You know that product is just going to keep on running and running. But Apple Watch, it might just die down after a few years. You don't know. You might have to do a firmware upgrade.
It's more of a personal touch, right?
Yeah. So that's it. So that personal touch you can't provide in any other consumer electronic product that we've seen out there. And now we bring that piece back to our lives, and then add a very simple feature that we can use every day. It's simple as that. So that's why.
So those are just some of the short things that we can bring about from my trip here in the Singapore FinTech Festival. Maybe I'll do a longer version of this coverage when I'm back in KL. But until then, if you've missed any part of this interview, just head on to astroawani.com. Look for Notepad over there. You can also watch these kind of interviews on your mobile devices. Just download the Astro AWANI app wherever you get the application. Until then, thanks very much for watching and goodbye.